Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly dose of Q&A, so let's get started with the very first question from Gail Lynn. How long have you ever carried the same bag in SLGs? Also, because you have such a large collection, how often do you feel the need to rotate due to the money you have spent? I fear my collection to get too big and it can be a chore changing everything. Okay, so the longest I've ever carried a bag would probably be maybe maybe 3 weeks, 3 to 3.5 weeks, especially if I was just crazy about it and maybe I didn't want to let go. So I'd say probably about 3 to 3.5 weeks would be the longest that I've carried a single bag. Okay, and as far as SLGs, okay, so SLGs, with the exception of my Empriente from Louis Vuitton, because I'm currently using it as a wallet, I would have to say that I've been using the same SLGs for the last 4.5 months. I know, crazy, right? But for me, the wallets tend to change the most. And other than that, I mean, the Cles. I mean, it's just the small things. Everything else, I tend to carry the same 7 essentials with me. And on some of these items, I have only that piece, so it would make sense that I only carry that one. But the wallet, since I have a few that I can pick from, that's what changes the most, the wallets and the Cles. Okay, and also, since you have such a large collection, how often do I rotate? Well, this is a great question. I actually recently decided to sell quite a few pieces from my collection as far as SLGs go and handbags. I think total, sorry, I'm just looking around my room. Total, I think I have parted with 5 bags and maybe about 4 to 5 SLGs. Even though they were gorgeous, I did not use them as much as I'd like to, and I don't want it to just sit there, you know what I mean? I want to be able to use my collection as often as I would like without having to worry, well, I don't want to use it because of this, and I don't want to use it because of that. No, I want to use it because I want to, because I like them, and because I'm going to get function out of them. So if that didn't happen, I ended up selling them. So for that same reason, I know that I had done a Louis Vuitton collection video, and like I said, I decided to part ways with those. But I tend to rotate my bags. It depends, really. It depends if I have something going on that week or just a general normal week. I'd have to say maybe every 5 to 6 days I like to change out bags, and during certain seasons I tend to stick to some more than others, because, you know, for winter time I will always stick with Demi Ben because of the rain and stuff like that, and during summer I'm always drawn to Demi Azur. So the seasons matter, and especially the weather. The weather is a huge thing for rotating bags. But yeah, so I'm very happy that I was able to condense my collection. And I'm so happy that some of these pieces went to fellow subbies, and hopefully they'll love them as much as I did. But yeah, so I know what you mean, because sometimes you can get, people can get too carried away, like getting too much of one good thing, and then they end up using the same one bag for 8 months, and yet they have a ton of other bags and a ton of other things to sit there. So I say if you don't use it, it might be time to sell it. Trust me, I still have a few that might be going. Okay, Louis 1228. I have some questions for you. 3 questions. Number 1, how do you store your jumbo? Okay, so this is actually the only bag that I keep in the box, and my jumbo is right up here, and I take it out from time to time to let the leather breathe, but honestly I like to keep it in there because of the magnetic box, but I mean, the leather is more important than the box. So I think after this video, I'm going to take it out and I'm just going to leave the box up here somewhere and just let it breathe completely. But I do have to recommend one thing, for any of you that have any Chanel quilts or anything like that, always leave the bag when you store them sitting up, because the quilts can flatten out over time and you don't want that to happen. So always leave them sitting up. So after this video, you guys will see the the bag just sitting there. Yeah, I don't know why, especially when I've talked about epi leathers and vernis and stuff like that, why I wouldn't do that with my jumbo. So I think I'm more so just terrified of something happening to it. But, I mean, I'm going to hurt it more than help it by leaving it in the box. So, out the box it comes. Number 2, if you had a choice between the Agenda PM or the MM, which one would you choose and what print? As I said before, I think SLGs look great on with monogram canvas. And for me, I'd have to say that the MM size is ideal because it's a little bit bigger. So for me, I'm able to write a little bit more freely, and it still fits in quite a number of bags. So it's not the size isn't very restricting. The PM, however, fits in pretty much every single bag, and it can double as a wallet if you needed to sometimes. But for me now, I'd have to say that the MM size is ideal. And number 3, I want to get my first walk. Debating on red or black, classic, boy, or chevron. Ooh. Okay, so I think that for any first Chanel piece, for me, I always say that a classic is the best way to go. So I would have to say that the Chanel walk with the black caviar quilted leather with the gold tone hardware. Obviously, if you choose silver hardware, either one or the other is great. But I always say a classic piece is always great to go. Some people might say it's a little safer, but the word classic says it, everything about it. And I think that if you tend to have a little bit more neutrals in your collection and you tend to gravitate more towards those colors and those type of bags, I think a classic is a great way to go. However, if you're very adventurous and you like color and you don't like to have the same colored bags, maybe a red would be better for you. But in my honest opinion, I always think a classic is the best way to go. And then after you get the classic, if you want another walk, you can always try out different colors, different leathers and stuff like that. Because the colored ones tend to be obviously seasonal colors. So you might not be crazy about this red, but then the following season, you'll see a red that just totally blows your socks off. So I always say classic first. Okay, car 11. I'm sorry. What are your other interests aside from bags? Any sports, hobbies that you do? Yes, I love to travel. And I don't like to travel so much so for fashion. I like to travel because of history. I like to go to museums. I absolutely love to collect vintage rhinestone jewelry. Before I changed my room around, I had a wire mannequin in the corner. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was just full of vintage rhinestone jewelry and antiquing. There's so many things. I like to go hiking. I like to go be outdoorsy. Even though I absolutely love shopping, it's such a fun thing to do, but I want to be able to do other things and be able to interact with, my hubby or my family and stuff like that. And sometimes when my husband and I go out, we like to, when we don't argue about where we're going to eat, because I told you guys that in a vlog, we like to try different places to eat I don't know, it's always fun and interesting. You never know what's out there if you don't try it out. So we like to be adventurous in that sense, but I'm a bookworm. I like to read, and I absolutely love history. So you'll see me reading up on some kind of ancient this, or you never know, but that's a little bit about what I like to do. Okay, and number 2, any thoughts on buying clothes from fashion houses? Are they worth the splurge? Well, any thoughts on buying from fashion houses clothing? I don't think so for 2 reasons. Number 1, I like my contemporary clothes. I like to be able to spend not so much on clothing and put that money towards bags, because this is what I prefer out of all the accessories. I prefer bags. And another thing, because of my chest, I can't fit into most fashion house items. So it's not in the cards for me to a certain extent. And I'd have to say that the only thing that I think is a splurge that I feel is a Chanel jacket. I just absolutely think they are timeless. They are gorgeous, and I think they're beautiful. So for me, that would be the only splurge. Other than that, and now I'll stick to my clothing and be able to get these guys behind me. But if you do get fashion house or clothing, more power to you, because some of the designs are absolutely stunning and others not so much. But yeah. Okay, Tiffany Ann, which is a better investment, a Chanel wallet on chain or Chanel classic mini flap? Both in black. Whew, this is a tough question. Even though I like the mini flap, I don't know. I don't know, because I saw it the other day and it's so cute, but it doesn't really fit anything. Oh. I'd have to say between the two, the walk. Yeah, I'd have to say that the walk. There's something about this, and the little black thing that you guys see here is the felt, because I just pulled it out of storage. There is just something about this walk. I absolutely love it. You can use it as a wallet, as a clutch, there's so many different ways to use this. And even though the mini flap is a little bit boxier, and it's a little bit shorter, I don't think you can fit as much in there. For some reason. I know it's kind of weird, even though this is a little bit thinner, but I don't know. I think that the walk is the better way to go. Call me crazy. That's how I feel right now, but who knows? I might change my mind. So you never know. Okay. Beautiful Kiss 21100. What clutches do you recommend from Chanel and Louis Vuitton that hold their value? I'd have to say that the Chanel walk is a great investment piece for as far as value goes, because it definitely keeps it's such a great classic piece, and it definitely keeps its value. My goodness. And I have to say for Louis Vuitton, it would be between the Eva clutch and the Favorite. I think some people are either one more so, they more so go for one than the other. But I think those two, because they're such versatile pieces. Again, with this, it's such a versatile piece that's another reason why they are in such high demand and why so many people like them. So between the two, the Chanel walk and the Favorite, or the Eva clutch from Louis Vuitton. Brain farts, my goodness. Okay, Natalie Cardenas. What do you think about the zippy coin purse in Demi Ben? What are the pros and the cons? Well, here I have my zippy coin purse from Louis Vuitton. I love this piece. This was a gift, and I think it does have... Okay, so I'm going to go over the pros and the cons. The pros for me are the fact that it's small. It allows you to go compact, and it has quite a bit of space for your credit cards here. So it doesn't take up too much space in any bag that you have, whether you have a very large bag or whether you have a very small bag. I think this is a great little piece to have. Plus it does have the zippered closure, so added security is always great. Now the cons for me are the fact that it doesn't have anywhere to put my coins. So if I wanted to put coins in here, I'd have to put them in the middle, and it tends to get a little too bulky when you have coin in here. Another thing is you have to fold your money if you're going to use this as a wallet. So if you're going to use it, for a day trip or something like that, I think this is great. Or if you're, going compact and you're going traveling, I think this is a great little piece to have, because I tend to carry zippy coin purses for travel for those reasons. But as an everyday wallet, because you have to fold your banknotes, and because of the coin, that's just not appealing to me as far as that goes. But I think it is a great piece. I think it's such an essential to have, because you can go compact, like I said before, or you can just fit it in any bag and you're good to go. Or you could just carry it like this with your phone and your car keys, and that's it. So it's a very versatile piece. It's very, very nice. And I especially like it in the Demi Ben. Okay, Cat Lux Love 8811. I purchased the Sarah wallet in multicolor. How long would it take for it to crack and or color rubbing off? This is a great question, and I mentioned this in my previous video, or my previous two videos about canvas cracking. It's pretty much, when it comes to canvas cracking, it's all a matter of how you care for it. With multicolor, you have to be a little bit more careful, because they do have the silk screen colors on the outside of the piece, and those might tend to rub, especially if you put them up against vernice. Sometimes it'll lift off. So you want to be careful with that. But it all is just a matter of how you care for the item, and try not to, you know, brush it up against harsh surfaces that might, you know, scratch it or anything like that. I think if you leave it in your bag and you carry it daily and stuff like that, I think you'll be fine. But yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, Alice Cribs. 2 questions for you. Number 1, I need to buy some air paper to stuff my bags. Is there a particular brand to look for? No. I think for the most part, when I used to work, I used to get it from work, and I just, you know, would get different brands here and there. But I know that UPS has it. You can get some there. Or you can go to Staples, or it's Office Depot. It's one of the two. One of the two sells them. But I think those are great. Or you can always go, if you don't have air paper, another thing that you can use is bubble wrap. You can put the bubble wrap in your bags, because it's the same kind of, you're just stuffing the bag, and it won't be too, you're not adding too much to it. So I think bubble wrap is a great way to go as well. But no, there's no particular brand for air paper. Okay, and number 2, now that the Dame Ben pattern is no longer to LV, are you going to be choosing one of the different patterns over it? I don't think so. I'm still very much so in love with Dame Ben, and there's just something about it. Even though I like them all for different reasons. The Dame Azur just speaks to me in the springtime. The monogram is just an all-around yearly great canvas. And the Dame Ben is just, it just holds such a special place, because it's the first pattern that was ever designed. And that just, I love that about it. It just, the history of it just makes me so happy. So I don't foresee jumping ship and picking a different pattern anytime soon. Okay. Jill Ashley. Should I get the Toiletry 19 or the mini Pochette to use as a catch-all in my bag? And here I have the mini Pochette. Out of the 2, even though both are great pieces, I'd have to say the mini Pochette. Actually, that's what I use mine for. This is what I call, like everyone has a junk drawer in their kitchen. This catches everything else for, you know, for my bag. Something that, you know, I have my gum in there, my headache medicine and stuff like that. So I think this is a great piece to go. Another reason, it's very versatile. So you don't always have to carry it as a catch-all. Sometimes you can use this as a little clutch. Plus, I like the size. Even though I like the size of the Toiletry 19, and I have thought about purchasing it, it is a little bit more stiff, whereas this is very soft, and it's able to fit in all your bags quite nicely. The Toiletry 19, because of its size, I think it's only a little bit bigger than this, but because of its stiffness, sometimes is a little cumbersome when you're trying to get in and out of your bag. So this is just easy. You don't have to worry about it. So I think this is the best way to go, the better way to go between the 2. Okay, and number 2, what are your thoughts on the Bloomsbury PM? Okay, so the Bloomsbury PM is a crossbody Dame Ben bag from Louis Vuitton, and personally, I'm not a fan of it, but I don't think I have met a single person out there who has that bag that doesn't like it. It is, because it is the Dame Ben, you're very, you're very carefree. It is crossbody, so you're hands-free. It has a lot of pros to it, and it's, even the PM size isn't too small. It's just the right, it's an average size bag, and I think it fits quite a bit in there. But like I said, I'm not a fan of it, but I know so many people out there that are in love with their bags. So it's all a matter if it works out for your lifestyle or not. Okay, Aileen Rocha, I'm so sorry. Which do you think is best, the Chanel card holder or the Louis Vuitton Empriente Cles? Man, you guys are making it hard this week. And here I have both. The other one is called the card case, and this is just the card holder. And I absolutely love both pieces. Now, when it comes down to it, I'd have to say, if you need to carry a bit more, I think that this is the best way to go, the Cles. However, it is a little bit bulkier. This is a lot slimmer. So if you need to go beyond compact, this is the way to go. And you can double up your cards in here, but you really can't fit too much more. I think when I was traveling last, I used this. And I was surprised because I thought I would only be able to fit, you know, 3 cards and maybe some receipts in here. But I was surprised of how, you know, how much I could actually fit in there. But at the same time, this one has the zippered pocket on the back. You have the magnetic closure, or the snap button closure. So you have a little bit of security, and you have quite, I mean, look at that. Mine is full right now. You have a lot more space in here. So for that reason, I would have to say that the Empriente clay fits a lot more, and you can get more use out of it versus this one. But it's all a matter of what you need. Super compact, this is the best way. Super bulky, and the Empriente clay is obviously a little bit bigger all around. But it is a great little piece from Chanel. But this one, I'd say has to take the cake on this one. Oh, and that pink, I absolutely love it. Okay, Heather Page. I just purchased my very first piece. Speedy 25 in monogram. Congratulations. I'm so excited, and I noticed that it has 2 to 3 white scuffs on the canvas. Is there any way to get those off? Okay, so there are sometimes that the canvases here tend to get little white marks throughout them. And all you do, what I did, I actually had it happen to my sunglass case. I don't even know where those white scuffs came from. But I just took a little bit of warm water, and I did a little circular motion on it, and it came off without a problem. I know one of my girlfriends says that she used baby wipes on the canvas only to be able to get rid of the white scuffs, and that came off. So just be very careful if you do try out using the baby wipes. Try not to put it on any of the Vachetta. I don't recommend it, but you can definitely put it a little bit on the canvas without hurting it. But personally, I would always do a little bit of warm water with a white cloth and just kind of, you know, rub it in a little circular motion. That's what I would do. And it came off quite easily. Other times I had to sit there and I'm like kind of going back and forth on it. But regardless, it still came off. You don't want to use any harsh chemicals whatsoever on any of these pieces. So that's why, even though I've never used the baby wipes, just be careful with them. Okay, and Lucy Boama, I'm so sorry. I am currently considering adding either the Pochette Matisse, Neverfull in Demi Ben, or the Alma BB or PM. I have a 3-year-old toddler, so I really need to be hands-free when I go out there. All these bags are on my wish list, and I will eventually get them, but which one do you think is more practical now? And from her comment, I believe she said that she had, she already had a Neverfull, and she already had an Eva clutch. And for that matter, I would have to say, since you already have a Neverfull, I don't think you should get another Neverfull. I mean, obviously you can, since I mean, it's the pot calling kettle black, because I have 3 of them. But since you already have one, you want to add a little bit more variety. I think the Pochette Matisse is a great way to go. You have the compartments, so you can be very organized, and it does have that crossbody strap, so you can be hands-free with your 3-year-old. Plus, if you ever wanted to take off the crossbody strap, you can just carry it as a little handbag. So it does have versatility. And even though I love the Neverfull and the Alma BB and the PM, the Alma BB, even though it does come with a crossbody strap and it does fit quite a bit in there, I still think the Pochette Matisse is just a little bit easier to get in and out of, especially with the S-Lock. Some people don't like the S-Lock because they think that it catches, and others absolutely love it. And I just think it's very easy to get in and out of versus having to zip the BB in specific if you have to get in and out of it. So unless you leave it open, the Alma BB might be a better way to go because of the crossbody strap. But all in all, I definitely recommend the Pochette Matisse. Okay, and Laura Greenfield. I'm going to sell my Neverfull PM. Too small for my frame. When it sells, should I get the MM Neverfull in monogram, the Soli, the old Delightful, or the new Delightful? Since you're getting rid of the Neverfull PM because it's too small, I still would stick with the Neverfull, and I definitely would go for the MM size. I just absolutely love it. It is such a classic staple piece for Louis Vuitton that it has so much versatility, and you can get so much use out of it. So even though I did have the Soli myself, it is a beautiful bag, but the strap bothered me so much on it. And the Delightful is nice as well. And it's just kind of a smaller tote, so it's very similar to a Neverfull, just with one strap versus the 2 straps. I'm a diehard fan of the Neverfull, and I think I'm sure you were happy with the PM. Maybe not so, as you said, because of the size, but you liked the fact that it's a tote that you can just throw all your stuff in there. So I say go for the Neverfull MM. Okay, and I think I have one last question. I do. Pink Coffee, do you think that if you are a single mom and you save up for luxury goods, is it okay to spend the money on yourself, or should you spend the money on something extra for your kid instead? This is a great question. Even though I am not a mother, I know what my mom did for me and my brother when we were growing up, and obviously we had our dad, so we didn't have a single mom. But mothers in general have such an important job. There's just so much that mothers do. And it's not like you can take time off and say, you know what, Bobby, I'm not going to take care of you today because I don't feel like it. You can't do that. It is a full-time job, and like I said before, I am not a mother, but I can appreciate everything that my mom did for me. And being a single mother is very hard. You know what I mean? And I think that for what mothers do, I think definitely it's okay to be able to save up money and buy a luxury handbag, and be able to put it towards yourself. Maybe you don't do it all the time, but it is such a blessing to be a mother, and it is such hard work, and it is a full-time job, and there is just so much that people take for granted when it comes to mothers, that I think that definitely you are worth it, that you should be able to buy yourself something. And like I said before, you don't have to do it all the time. Some single mothers out there do in fact take care of their children and are able to buy themselves luxury goods all the time, but there is nothing wrong with that. Yes, go for it. I think you should be able to save up and buy whatever it is that you want, because you know what, like I said before, being a mom and being in charge or being responsible for someone's upbringing is such a blessing. It is such, I cannot wait if I ever do get the honor of becoming a mother, but it just, I think you're fine. I think you're fine. And I know some people might judge, saying, you know what, you don't have enough, you're a single mom, you should be, don't even bother with them. Don't listen to them. Go with what your heart tells you to do. And if you want to maybe just pass on getting the luxury good, then so be it. Just do whatever makes you happy, because yes, you are definitely worth it. So sorry, I went on a little bit on that tangent. And I had such a hard time talking this time. My gosh, I don't understand. Maybe it's because I talk for, right now I'm going on 27 minutes there's no breaks. And you guys know I don't like to edit my videos. I have in the past sometimes, but I just keep rambling. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for all the wonderful questions. Again, I had to answer some of them online, so if you did not hear them here, I did it that route. But again, thank you guys so much for all the questions. I had a blast doing it, and you guys definitely put me on the spot with the Chanel versus the Louis. Sneaky. But I will see you all tomorrow. And I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be starting a series, and a series for my channel here. I started it 2 weeks ago. It was called Handbag Files, and then it's whatever it is that we talk about handbags, for whether it's being compact. But the next one that's coming up is I'm going to talk about buyer's remorse, because that is such an important, I think it happens quite a bit with luxury goods. I've done it myself, and I think it's a topic that I think we should all talk about. So let me know in the comments down below if you look forward to hearing about buyer's remorse, and if you are all for it for Handbag Files, the series that I wanted to start. So yep, that is it. That is all I have, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.